Hey y'all, this video is going to be quite short. I'm currently working on a couple of other videos regarding Katie Joy Paulson and this Netflix docuseries that was just released, Dancing for the Devil. I had to stop what I was doing and make this video here because what has transpired over the last 24 hours has made me so angry, so upset, and sick to my stomach of how this beautiful young lady and her husband are being treated. Whether or not you believe she is in a cult or not in a cult, the way she is being treated, particularly by Katie Joy Paulson, is nothing short of sick. Miranda Derrick was a focal point in this docuseries. We'll talk about that in another video. Since Katie Joy Paulson did her first video regarding Miranda Derrick back in February of 2022, right before she was sued by Robert Shin, 7M Films, Miranda Derrick, and James Derrick, Katie Joy Paulson has not shut up about Miranda Derrick. There's a true obsession, and I fully believe that. Katie Joy Paulson claims that she is an advocate for victims within a cult. However, Miranda Derrick, who she claims is a victim, who does not know where she's at in life. She cannot think for herself. She's not allowed to write her own statements. She's not allowed to eat. She's not allowed to drive. She's not allowed to do any of these things according to Katie Joy Paulson. Fine, if those are the facts, those are the facts. But if those are the facts, that is a very harsh reality. And if that is reality, why the hell is Katie Joy Paulson poking, picking, instigating, humiliating, insulting, and constantly harassing Miranda Derrick, who is considered by Katie Joy Paulson a victim? Miranda Derrick put out a statement yesterday regarding the docuseries and how she felt. And of course, Katie Joy Paulson is going to say those are not her words. That's not how she types. That is not how she speaks. Okay, fine. I'm not arguing whether or not these are Miranda's words or not. But the facts are this. Miranda represented those words. She went live, said, here's my statement. What Katie Joy Paulson did immediately had to insult and harass her and call her a liar, a brainwashed idiot. She doesn't know what she's doing. She has no idea what's up, what's down. But here's the thing, Katie Joy. Why can't she have one say-so? You have been blasting about her and everybody else since this docuseries went out. Why can't she have one word? Why can't you just say, okay, Miranda, that's how you feel, and leave it at that? Instead, this is what you had to say. Her post says this: I have just recorded and edited, which, dear God, if that's editing, a response to Robert Shin and Miranda, not just Miranda, she has to claim it's Robert, after he had her release a statement blaming her lawsuit with me, my reporting, and her parents for attacking her. I only request that everyone watch and share the video on my YouTube to ensure the message is heard by as many people as possible, which translates to, let me make money off of your trauma. And not only did you just have to say something, you, Katie Joy, are not this important, but you had an official statement to make. And I'm not going to play any of it, y'all. I'm not going to play 1 second of it because all she did was insult Miranda, accuse Robert or his people, whatever she says, to be behind it. Okay, fine. If that is the case, why are you insulting her? Why do you feel the need to go on there immediately to prove her wrong, to tell her she's wrong, to insult her, and to further harass her? Like this woman has not been through enough in the past few days. May I also add that she didn't even mention your name. Your name was not even mentioned. What she said was she could not say much because she is in a current lawsuit. Which, do you remember saying this just, 3 days ago, if even that? Because this is your post, Katie, and it says, Robert added James and Miranda to the lawsuit. They likely have no clue they are suing me because, well, Hannah and Shirley signed documents for them. She is accusing them of not knowing that they are in a current lawsuit that, mind you, has been going on for 2 full years. How do people not see that Katie Joy is being abusive to these victims? How is this overlooked, y'all? But it gets worse. So after she insulted Miranda for not, doing anything on her own. Now keep in mind, let's say that's the case. I'm not saying one way or the other. If that's the case, why are we harassing? Why are we insulting? Why are we demeaning a victim? But she now goes after James. And I don't know, I guess is upset that he has a response to the docuseries. We'll get into that in a second. But his sister made a post, and this is what she stated. She says, "Good morning. I think Netflix needs to give my brother, B-Dash, and his wife, Miranda, a documentary of their side of the story. That is a one-sided story. Why wasn't James's family interviewed for this documentary? He has family too." James simply responds to his sister and says, "She said it. Love you, sis." So, how did it turn into this? Oh, that's right. This is Katie Joy, and she embellishes and twists and does everything she can to suit her narrative. This is what she had to say, y'all. James Derrick has demanded a docuseries of his own from Netflix to tell his side of the story. Okay, first of all, demanded. When did he demand? He simply responded to his sister's statement of suggesting, no telling how serious she was in that suggestion, that he should have his own docuseries. And he has that right. While there are currently no plans for a second season, I can share with you the following information. Okay, and then she goes on to say that, that James had been contacted. He had every right to, participate, but he chose not to. And then she says, "I want to be clear that I have been shown James's message, and his response was clear and concise. He was also setting a boundary with us, no longer contact him to participate." Okay, so here's my biggest problem, y'all. This is my biggest problem, and I'm being serious with this. Because here she is dogging him, insulting him, and one of the dancers did it tonight too, stating, "How dare you have an opinion of a docuseries about you and your wife? How dare you have an opinion, okay? Because we contacted you and gave you ample opportunity to participate in a docuseries along with the person that you are suing." Make it make sense, y'all. So everybody's going to have an opinion, a negative opinion, and say, you had your chance. You had your chance to speak in our documentary on our time. But keep in mind, the person who is bragging and going on and on about how they're part of this production team and they're part of this docuseries is Katie Joy Paulson, the person that Robert Shin, Miranda Derrick, and James Derrick are suing. So why the heck would they be part of a docuseries talking about how they're in a cult, which they disagree with? Let's set that part aside. Why would anybody expect for them to be part of a docuseries where Katie Joy Paulson is on the production team? They are in a current lawsuit, y'all. Is he not allowed to have an opinion about his own life and his wife? I mean, sure, Katie Joy is saying that it's Robert Shin who's stating this. Nonetheless, the answer was no, we don't want to be part of it, and people are sitting here insulting him. What about the fact that there is a current lawsuit with Katie Joy Paulson? Anyone? Anyone care to explain how we can sit here and insult this man because he didn't want to be a part of their documentary? Is that the only outlet he has to say his side of the story? Because according to Katie Joy, James had a chance to speak. James said no. James doesn't need his own series because he turned down his chance. So the only chance he had is with you and with Netflix. That's his only chance. You want to talk about control? Who's in control here now, Katie? Who's acting like a cult leader now? So she goes on to say The bad guy is Robert and not James. If James wants his side to be told, he has to agree to tell the story. Sounds to me like that's what he wants to do, but because it's not on your terms, I guess he's just a dumbass. Just before saying that, she says James is a very trusting person and Robert has taken advantage of James's need for guidance and help. James wanted his friends to be with him. There is zero belief from anyone that James knew that this group was a cult or that anyone was in danger. That sure is funny because before this documentary and you had to have a different narrative, does anybody else remember whenever she was hardcore for how much James is a terrible person? These are her words. Real men don't act like Robert or James. She also made posts such as this. What kind of man stays at a church where women are being sexually abused and his wife being groomed by a pastor? A weak little boy. No man that gives a shit about his wife would ever be okay with their wife being assaulted or groomed. Do better. And there's always this. Little boys, weak little boys, where she's talking about B-Dash being controlled by Robert Shen, and when everything blows up, don't cry about your career being ruined. Well, I'm sorry, but if anybody's career might be ruined now, it's because of you and this documentary. That's just my opinion. Oh, but let's get back to her trashing James, aka B-Dash. Ladies, if you're married to a man that looks away while a pastor assaults you, he's not worth being your husband. Pretty harsh words, wouldn't you say? And I don't know when the narrative changed, but, I'm still here to remind you that she said things like, James, your son needs his father. You only get one shot at being a dad. And right now, you are failing miserably. She had many other horrible things to say about James, and she discussed his son so much, which she never should have. But somewhere along the line, she needed this narrative to change to make it seem like she's being kind to them. But then she can't help herself because after all this, just yesterday, she wants to say Miranda gets nasty under Robert's direction. Y'all, this is never going to stop. She's going to continue harassing, stalking, criticizing, critiquing the people that she is calling victims. Because anytime Miranda or James comes out with something, she has to dispute it. She has to critique it. She has to let everybody know that that is not them. She doesn't know that for a fact. Nobody knows that for a fact. So why harass them? Why continue to just add to Miranda's pain? There's been so much negativity behind this docuseries in regards to Miranda. People are leaving her horrible messages, horrible comments. It's not fair. Who is going to protect Miranda now that she is being pushed further and further and further away? And why wouldn't she be? I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be distancing myself as much as I could. And if I was in a bad situation, I guess it would be worse. But who is protecting her? Who is going to take care of her? I'm sure she feels alone, just her and her husband. And yes, she is part of a church, and I'm sure they're making her feel very accepted right now, while everyone else is throwing her away. And of course, Katie Joy will disagree with everything I say. But these are my opinions, watching from the outside. I don't care about Robert Shen at this point, or 7M, or Shekinah at this point. What is being done to Miranda and her husband is wrong. Who's going to look out for them? Who is going to take care of them? Who is going to protect them? You're pushing them closer and closer to the people that you are saying are dangerous, that you, Katie Joy, are saying is going to hurt them. Who's going to help them? Not Katie Joy, and not anybody in her camp. So, we'll just continue watching her bash and slash and criticize and critique and harass and slander and stalk these people that she herself calls victims. Because Katie Joy is even encouraging their fans and their followers to abandon them. Regardless of what people say about her visits with her family being fake, they are still able to see her and communicate with her. And that is a big thing. I am hoping that this documentary did not further divide them as mother and daughter and as sisters. Let's all pray for Miranda's health and happiness, her marriage, her friendships, and her safety. That's it for today, y'all. This is all I can handle emotionally and mentally, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.